What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is past the prop. We're coming at you guys for some NBA action on this 9-game slate tonight. Joined as always by my guys. Stu, how we doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. We got a pretty good NBA slate to bet on today, so can't be complaining too much. So, yeah, nothing really to complain about. We've had some good momentum coming in this show, a couple long shots, a couple just good plays. So I'm ready to keep it going today.
Yeah, no, we have like I said, a 9-game slate. We got some decent spots tonight. Just looking across the board. Some decent totals. Not too many of those massive blowout risk games. Obviously, now that I say that, we're going to probably have some. But in terms of like the 10-point spreads, I don't think anything is higher than 9. And I believe that's the Celtics. The Celtics are 9-point favorites taking on the KD less Nets. So we obviously have that one. So that should be an interesting one. That's probably the biggest game of the slate.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, to see recently, we've had some big spreads with like some pretty big teams. Just the other day, we had the Nets, Lakers. Now the Nets are kind of still involved right there. So it's interesting to see these big teams and the kind of the larger than normal spreads we've been seeing.
For sure. And obviously, we're looking across the rest of the slate. And there's some decent games. I think games that kind of go under the radar. First one I kind of think about is this Jazz-Toronto game. That one kind of sticks out as like a under the radar game, 230 total. But a lot of guys that I know me and you personally love to bet. So I think that's going to be one for the people who watch the show who have seen us for a while. I definitely think that's going to be a spot that a lot of us go to. Before we get to the chat, what's your favorite game? Before we get to our recap, I'll let you do your favorite game here before we recap and get to everybody's comments in that.
Yeah, it's probably not going to surprise people. We got the Thunder Rockets going today. That seems like a pretty fun game to me. I mean, the funny thing is it's kind of two teams in like slightly different trajectories. We see the Rockets kind of going downwards a little bit despite all the young guys, and we see the Thunder going upwards with all their young guys. So I'm always excited to see those kind of real young teams kind of clash it out. We see some ugly basketball at times, but it's normally pretty good for player props. So that's definitely what I'm excited to tune into today.
I was going to actually talk about that one for a sec here. Why are the Rockets only 6.5-point dogs? They were 5.5 last night. How are they not like 10-point favorites? The Rockets have no Jalen Green. They have no Kevin Porter Jr. Sengun coming back, so he is playing. But my God, this team is rolling out some pretty low-end guys on their roster here. I was surprised to not see that one in that Celtics range of like 9 points. Do the market just not trust this Oklahoma City team to blow a team out?
I think it's name value, right? It's got to be name value, right? That when we see the Thunder, we're like, no way these guys can actually be more than 6-7 point favorites, right? It's just something that we don't trust. And we've seen it time and time again. The Thunder are not a team that's been on the up and up for a long time. So I see what you mean. It definitely feels like it should be. But to be honest, if you saw an 8, if you saw a 9, would you really be willing to lay that number with the Thunder right now?
I just can't get over how, like, I've watched a few of these Rocket games without Jalen Green and Kevin Porter, and it's gross. You're relying on 47-year-old Eric Gordon to get you buckets, which is disgusting. So I could. I think I would. I think I might actually take my first spread of the season. I don't do those. But you got to put your trust in SGA here. It's just I don't know who's going to even try and guard him in this one. It might be – I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for Sengun, though. So either way, you can kind of talk about them having a mismatch on one side of the ball.
Yeah.
And then
oh, sorry. I was just going to say that's fair. I just think at the end of the day, like the Thunder have SGA. Who are you going to point to on the other side for the Rockets? Like who's going to go and score you that 30 points? And I don't know if we can find an answer right there.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they have one. But if I had to look at one of these games, I think you picked one of those lower end fun games. I kind of like looking at this this Warriors game, right? We have a 238 total. This one might actually be good basketball to watch here. So it's a little bit different. But only a 3.5-point spread. You're in Minnesota as well. Anthony Edwards has been on one lately. D'Angelo Russell's been picking up his game. I'm excited to see them at home in a big environment type of game here. See if they can take down the Warriors. They've been playing a lot better as well, and I think both of us are going to be talking about that game for our plays. So we'll get to it a little bit there. Don't want to talk too much about it, but I think that one kind of sticks out to me as a spot I definitely want to have exposure.
Yeah, no doubt. And like you said, that's an actually good basketball team, right? I mean, those are two teams we could likely see in the playoffs, whether that be even maybe the wild card weekend if things aren't looking too good. But yeah, no, I agree with that. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later with our bets. But I mean, you obviously have Anthony Edwards playing great basketball right now. And he's one of those guys, he kind of levels up a little bit when he plays these good teams. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I'm curious because I'm not sure if Wiggins is going to play. I know he's been in and out of this lineup with some injuries, illness, and stuff like that. That's a fun little homecoming game for him, and probably the guy who'd be probably guarding Anthony Edwards. So I don't really know who they'd put on him if he is out again. So that would be an interesting matchup if that does get to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, you obviously love the revenge spots right there. If he's not in, it'd probably be the young guys. You see some Kuminga a little bit, maybe. I guess Moody isn't touching the court that much recently, so probably more Kuminga.
For sure. And let's get a recap going before we get to you guys in the chat. 15 of you guys in here in the first 6 or 7 minutes. We appreciate you popping in. And let's get the shitty start out of the way. We got Claxton cleared his rebounding prop, I guess, if you want to look at the positive side. I think he had 12 or 13 rebounds, only 4 shot attempts in the game, so that obviously didn't really help the point rebound aspect. Maybe it was just more of a rebounding day for him there. But I was talking to Stu before the show, talking about Day'Ron Sharpe taking all of his minutes, dude. I mean, we might see him get benched for Day'Ron Sharpe, baby, because that guy just came out and put on a clinic. Dude had like 12 or 13 rebounds, played like half the minutes. He looked really good. And obviously they didn't really need him as much with Kyrie kind of just shooting pretty much every time down the floor there. And a lot of their 3-point shooters right now, without KD, it's pretty much Irving, Claxton, and then just a bunch of shooters on the outside. So obviously that one didn't come through for us. I think Trent had like 21 or 24.
Yeah, he got there I believe he got there in 3 quarters. If not, he got there right after. So pretty easy cash. Obviously the Raptors were looking good in that one without OG.
Yeah, and then the Denny spot.
Yeah, man, this one wasn't reposted until, right before game. I think the deal was the Gafford injury news. I didn't think they would actually react that much, but they clearly did. But luckily, he cashed whatever number he got at. He had 9 rebounds that game.
Yeah, he went completely off there.
I would bet it again today, by the way, if the show was, if we didn't get canceled. We'd be going Denny rebounds whenever we can get them. So definitely be on the lookout for that whenever this game gets reposted to. I don't know.
I don't know about what happened there, but De'Aaron Fox took him a little into overtime. He ended up with 31, and they go to overtime, obviously comes through. He went berserk in the overtime period. He was awesome. A really fun game to watch, too. One of those back and forth types of Kings games that we get to see usually at late night. And obviously it was good. I believe that was the Timberwolves game there. And he almost came through for my long shot. He ended up with 2 threes. Super disappointing. He didn't shoot as many as he did in the first game, but he made more than he did in the first game. So obviously it was give and take on that one, but there was that one, and I don't know how he did. I didn't watch that one.
Cam Johnson had a terrible game. So it was very funny though. He started out like 0 for 5 and got like benched. So Mikal Bridges was the wing we wanted in that game.
Perfect. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see who's all in here joining us. Over 20 of you guys in here before we get even to 10-minute mark. So appreciate you guys. We got Jay, Terrence, Steve in here. Swaggy bringing up my YouTube play of the day I just posted there. I'm on the team total over for Furman tonight as my college spot. He also likes Nets plus 9.5. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious, dude. I'm surprised to see that number so big. I thought it'd be more in the range that the Thunder game was in like that 5.5, 6. But the books obviously they make a lot of money, and I'm not in the business of betting spread, so I'm not going to try out there. Todd, need a big night? Yeah, let's do it. Let's hopefully stay hot on the show. I believe that's back-to-back, pretty hefty winning slates for us. So hopefully we can continue to go here. Talking about all of these props and stuff to make money for some Super Bowl singer props. We can national anthem props, first song props. Hey, we know what you're going to. We like those.
Yeah, no, and if you have any inside information, make sure to send us messages, okay? We'd love to bet on those novelty props. If anyone out here has a third cousin that's going to be performing in the band, let us know. What's the first song they're going to be playing? Because, people will take those bets.
Yeah, the most bet day of the year for sure. And we have Roger in here as well. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Stu, you got anything else before we get started? We're about 10 minutes in going in. We got all 4 plays. Neither one of us posted our long shot yet, so I'm sure we'll come up with something here.
Yeah, we should probably just get into it before I start brainstorming what the Gatorade color is going to be, because now I'm thinking Super Bowl novelty props, and blue can't go wrong this year.
Well, we can. I don't know why I'll even let you put this guy on the slate again, but I will let you start us off with your half unit play. And yeah, I don't know why I'm even letting you bet on this guy.
Yeah, we're going back to Nick Claxton after he kind of disrespected us on the show. And it was really one of those situations, kind of from go, where you could just tell this was a loss. I felt like it was a great call, before the game started against the Lakers. He has a great matchup. And it was a dud game, right? He just didn't look very good. He wasn't involved. And his minutes were actually even kind of down. It was kind of partially a blowout, but it wasn't so much of a blowout as much as Claxton just wasn't looking great out there. But he's still been crushing this number. He's been incredibly consistent recently. He has pretty much everything I look for when I'm trying to break down these props. And 9 rebounds for Claxton is technically like a little bit of the harder part in this parlay right here. Averaging over 10 rebounds in the month of January. He's hit the spot in both games versus Boston this season. One game he had 9, and the other one he had like 13 or 14. So I had a little bit of a spike game right there. But no KD, no Simmons. We know the minutes have been up in those kind of situations. In a close game, I think we're very likely to once again see, 30 to 35 minutes in the blocks. I mean, he has been absolutely insane in that market. I know JJJ was getting all that criticism for the home blocks. If you actually look at it, Claxton's road splits have been way better for blocks. He has 2 blocks in 10 straight road games coming in. He hit this in both games against Boston earlier in the year, but once they were in Boston, he actually had 4 blocks as opposed to 2 at home. So it's kind of funny that you see the JJJ has been crushing at home. Claxton, he doesn't need those home scores. He's getting it done on the road. So very consistent guy. I don't like depending on him to score that much ever, just because he does most of his scoring in the paint. And even in a phenomenal matchup like last time against the Lakers, where you think this should be easy, scoring is very volatile. But rebounding, blocks, those are the 2 things he's going to get paid the big bucks to do. It's why he is a front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, and it's why he's averaging close to 11 rebounds over his last month. So I think Claxton keeps it going right here. I don't think we need anything crazy. 2 for 2 versus Boston. I just think we get another solid night from him.
Yeah, big news. Robert Williams is active too, so obviously not a guy like a Horford who could pull him out of the paint, right? Yep. A guy you definitely want to see down in the paint, getting you in those close rebounding quarters there for sure. So I do like that spot. I'm going to be heading over to DraftKings for a same game parlay today, and I'm heading to Laurie, my boy, 3 3-pointers. Facing off against Toronto, and obviously on the other side, Precious Achiuwa, 7 rebounds. This is minus 110 as a same game parlay option over on DraftKings. And Precious has really been the biggest uptick with the OG news, right? Obviously, OG plays 38 to 40 minutes, but someone's got to fill that role. And in his absence, we've been seeing Precious take over that spot. In the 6 games that he's played without OG, he's hit this number 5 times, hit double figures 5 times. The only miss he had was against Sacramento, where it was just a blowout game and he only played 25 minutes. So every game he's played 30 minutes, he's getting this number. Obviously, I love the matchup here. You obviously have like a guy like Walker Kessler who's going to be down in the paint, who's going to be fighting for the boards down there. I don't see Achiuwa guarding Laurie at all. And obviously that would be where he would pull him out and make him guard on the perimeter. But with a guy like Walker Kessler, who's actually playing pretty good basketball right now, being down in the paint, getting us those extra rebounding attempts down there. And we obviously love to target Toronto for 3-pointers. Laurie has hit this number in 5 straight games. Toronto's the second highest percentage second allowed so far this season. And Lauri's averaging over 7.5 threes attempted in the last month, which I think is really important because the volume obviously is really what's going to get us here. Not only just hitting it in 5 straight games, but actually seeing high volume from him from deep. We've seen him get 8, 10. The lowest one in his last 5 games is only 6. So we're seeing a lot of volume from him and obviously shooting at a very high clip. I just love the advancement in his game this year. And I'm going to be going right back to the well, attacking this Toronto defense who just lets you shoot those threes.
Yeah, no, I love this spot right here. I mean, Lauri is kind of exactly like you said. They're funneling those outside shots, and he's coming in with a hot hand right here. So I don't think many people would be arguing with you there. I think that's a good spot. I think people might be a little bit shocked to see a guy like Precious Achiuwa, kind of pop up on this board right here. But like you said, the numbers have kind of supported it. He's been playing very well. He's been definitely the number one beneficiary of OG going out. And if he's going to reliably play, 25 plus minutes out there, that he's going to get you these boards. That's like we were just talking about with Claxton, right? The scoring, you never really know if it's there, but he's an aggressive, high energy kind of bench rebounder that you love to see get those minutes. So I know people might be scared away by the name, but I definitely think that's a very sneaky read right here.
Yeah, just grab me 7. Like I said, double digits and 5 or 6. All we need is 7, right? We just buy it down a little bit. That's the lowest number, but obviously Lauri, I think, is like minus 170. So a little too juicy to obviously bet straight. I'm taking a spot on the lowest option to buy down on Precious's spot here today. So let's take a look. I didn't check anything in the chat. I don't think we have anything else in there. If you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in there and we'll hopefully get to them. Like I said, 9-game slate tonight, pretty big totals out there as well. So I'm excited to break this one down as well. We'll go right into it. And I'm sure we'll be talking about the same thing here. So I'll let you start us off.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're going Draymond Green, 7 assists, and Anthony Edwards to get a steal right here. Paired this one up over on BetMGM. And for me, I guess I touched on Edwards a little bit about kind of being, the star versus star matchups, right? I tend to like to look at those for steals, and I feel like I've had a lot more success because at the end of the day, and if you're an NBA player and you're playing, 100 games a season or whatever, like, it's kind of hard to gauge motivation. And in the steals department, motivation is really one of the most important factors, right? We have a ton of great, versatile defenders, but you got to be out there actively, playing engaged defense. And Anthony Edwards, that's been a focal point of his game all season long. We're seeing 1.9 steals per game over his last 10 coming in. He had 1 versus Golden State earlier this season. It's just been a facet of his game that's been much improved, to be honest. I think a lot of people were kind of doubting Anthony Edwards' defensive ability just in general, right? He's kind of known as a scorer. That's kind of maybe what his role has been attributed to, but seeing him actually kind of shine a little bit more on the defensive end has definitely been a necessary progression. I just like it in this matchup against a team like the Warriors that have all these big stars. I think we just see that extra nudge of motivation. Not that he needs it, he's been killing it himself, but it never hurts. And then for Draymond Green right here, I know we're kind of on the same page right here, but the assists have been very, very impressive over these last couple of games since he's been in kind of a new role, right? We've seen him move from that he's a point center now, essentially. They bumped Looney out of the starting lineup. So he's hit this in 7 straight games. He has 7+ assists in his last 7. And over those last couple of games, he's averaging 16.9 potential assists per game. So the potential assists are through the roof. He's clearly he's in a groove right now, right? He's feeling it. And then he killed it in this matchup earlier this season. I believe 11 assists against them earlier this year. So everything's just lining up. I love Draymond right here. You can play 7.5 as a solo play too. I definitely considered that, but his hit rate has been much more consistent at the 7 number. I like buying it down and adding in Anthony Edwards, who I definitely feel very confident is going to get a steal.
Beautiful. And yeah, I'll just go right into mine since obviously we're kind of on the same page here. I'll be going to rebound assists. 7 of his last 10, we've hit this one. So I always like to look, especially when we have guys in grooves, I usually go last 10 games. That's usually what I use as my sample size because obviously we have guys who have like a 20 rebound game or a 15 assist game. It just skews everything. But usually I go to 10 to kind of get that full number that I want to look at here. And Draymond's averaging 13.5 rebounding chances over his last 10 games, 16.3 potential assists over his last 10 games. Obviously pretty big numbers there. And not only hitting it in 7 of his last 10, but also just getting a ton of minutes out there as well. 35, 37. We're seeing even low 30s, and he's still crushing this number. Everybody even knows what's happening, right? Steph Curry coming off the screen, and it's just an automatic bucket, right? That's pretty much every one of those is coming from Draymond. He's not even attempting shots. I think the most I've seen him have in like the past month is 7, and those are layups, right? And he's hitting he's 6 for 7, 5 for 7. But it's like you're sitting there, and he has an open opportunity, but he'd rather just give it to somebody else, right? He is one of the few guys you can see get double-doubles on consistently just rebounds and assists. We've seen it a few times so far this year, but 9 rebound game last time. We've seen him get upwards of 13, so obviously the pop-off ability on the rebounding side is there, averaging almost 10 per game over the past month. And obviously you just talked about assists. His last game, 12 assists. Obviously a number that we can go with, only needing 4 rebounds to obviously get to that number there. I just think this number is too low, especially with what he's been doing lately. And I like that you kind of talked about that. And this total too, right? You're seeing a total way up there. Minnesota loves to chuck threes. And obviously Draymond's the guy down there to wrap those up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him grab double digits in one of these categories and obviously fill up the stat sheet in the others.
Yeah, no, I love this. This kind of fits the exact model, right? What have we talked about in the NBA over these last couple seasons? The guy that can get it to you in multiple different ways. Draymond, I could see having an 11 rebound game just as easily as I could see having an 11 assist game in this one. So it's one of those where he has the capability to pop off in either department. And a stat that I did forget to say too, but over the last 15, they are allowing the most assists to opposing centers in the NBA. And that's what Draymond is playing right now as well. So just another added little bonus right there. I think he has a great game. And I think I wonder what the double-double / triple-double odds are in this one.
Yeah, I saw people posting that one on Twitter. I saw Sengun triple-double up there now that he got his first one. So I'm seeing our boy Joe hit that big one last night. So now everybody's trying to do that. It was the 10 to 10K challenge. And now that everybody saw the parlay there, now everybody's going to start doing triple-doubles now. So it's don't just go chasing those guys. Those are not easy to do. So that's just my little tiny piece of advice. Don't just try to chuck money on these because they're going to be one in every year. You might get one of those.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, that's good advice. Shout out to Joe, obviously. Love to see that. A friend of the show. Been trying to get him on here for years, but he's always in the chat showing love in my Discord and all that stuff. So he definitely deserved it. It's very funny to see a guy like that, his follower count, double after, now for the rest of his career. Even though he's been posting, great write-ups, great individual player props, he's going to be tagged with, what do you think about this parlay for the next couple of years, which is pretty funny to see. But shout out, Joe.
Beautiful, beautiful. Stu, I don't think we have any other questions in here. Obviously, we went back to our old time here, so obviously people are probably still finding their way into the chat here. I will give you a couple seconds here to think about what that long shot's going to be before we recap and finish this up. But this is going to be a quicker show here. I know you're a busy guy. Obviously, we're both getting plays out all day here. So let's get to a recap, and then we can get this long shot game on the road. We're going to get one of these. De'Aaron got me close. Shea Gill just got me close. One of these just has to be there, right? One of them we're going to get. So let's do a quick recap here for you.
Sounds good. I started out with Draymond Green, 7+ assists, and an Anthony Edwards steal, -130 over on BetMGM. Then we went another same game parlay. This one's on DraftKings. We went Claxton, 9 rebounds, and then grabbing 2 blocks as well, -115 for half a unit.
I'm going to do a same game parlay as well with Lauri Markkanen, 3 threes to go along with Precious Achiuwa, 7 rebounds. And I'm going to be heading to Draymond as well in his rebounds assist category over 15.5 over on FanDuel there. All right, Stu, I don't know if you're going to be one of those crazy ones today with those crazy long shot odds. What are we looking at here? What is the spot that Monotone Football is locking in today?
Well, to be honest, the more we were talking about it, I was kind of liking the Draymond Green double-double, without getting too crazy, depending on, threes or, him scoring 20 points or something like that. So I went to look at the odds thinking, they wouldn't be that great, but +300 for a Draymond double-double will definitely qualify as my long shot today. I'm pretty much assuming he gets a double-double based on just my assist prop, right? I'm feeling very confident he gets within that 10 range. So now that we have him with the possibility to get 10 points, which he did earlier in the season against that matchup, or 10 rebounds at plus 300, that's enough for me. So sign me up for a Draymond double-double. He already did it once against them.
What's the odds?
Plus 300 over on DraftKings.
All right, that is up. All righty. I don't know how crazy I want to be today. I don't know if I want to be one of those crazy guys. I just saw Terrence's comment in there, so like I'm almost feeling like it's like a must have, like a big day, like a big long one. But I'm gonna be lame today. I'm gonna be lame. I'm gonna be down in the three numbers only here. But it's a guy we talked about prior to show a little bit. And I'm going to the double-double market as well. So I am going to Kenyon Martin Jr. double-double. I love this dude. I've been playing him in DFS. I do a VIP DK contest on all of these big slates. And every time I'm playing these guys, you already know. Now that all these guys are out, Kenyon Martin is finding his way into all my lineups. He's starting to get a little too pricey for me. He's even passing my boy Josh Hart in salary, which is disappointing. But he's at a double-double in 2 of his last 3 games. He actually missed a double-double by only 1 rebound in a game against Minnesota as well. He's a great rebounding. I don't even know if you call it what you really call him as on like DraftKings. They give him like shooting guard, small forward. Then they switch it. Now he's small forward, power forward. Yeah. I think they just put him as a power forward because he's grabbing so many damn rebounds here. But I can't get away from this guy's number here. I just think this number is way too high for a guy who's hit in 2 of his last 3. We're missing so many players on that side. And we're seeing 10.8 rebounding chances per game over his last 10. I think we're going to see another exquisite performance from my boy, Kenyon Martin Jr., and I can't get away. Plus 420 for a guy who hit in 2 of his last 3. It's nuts, dude. I just can't get over that one.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I was kind of curious who you're going to – I thought you were going to say, like, Dayron Sharp or something. I was like, oh, let's not.
He'll find his way on there, too. He'll find his way somewhere.
Yeah, so I was getting nervous there. But I love this. Martin's a great rebounder. Anyone it's probably only DraftKings players that know about this guy, maybe degenerate Rockets fans as well. But, I mean, he's just going out there and grabbing boards. He's one of those people – for a non-center, it's kind of crazy that maybe even the points are almost as scary as the rebounds at times with Martin. But with a lack of really other options right now, I really like this at plus 420. I mean, Martin is one of the few forwards that you can go and kind of trust to get you 10 rebounds because that's the kind of player he is.
The real question, Stu, and this is going to help out a lot of guys here in the chat because they're going to like I said, we got Terrence out there, so we want something longer. Are you boldly going to call the double-double for Draymond with points and assists, or are you going rebounds, assists, and not even getting there with the points? Because you don't want to miss out on that triple-double odds if you have them. So it's like you're giving me the double-double, but which one's getting there?
I feel like the benefit of betting the double-double is that I don't have to pick. I can look smart if it hits. If he has 0 points, I'll still look smart if it hits because Draymond – oh, he's so unpredictable, man. I would say let's go rebounds and assists. Let's call it that way. He's giving us like a 9, 10, 11 kind of game right here. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, we'll take that. That's a hell of a game. I am trying to throw these into some crazy parlays together. I'm sure I'm going to have my betting cards are going to look like Terrence's pretty quick here now that we have all these crazy long shot stuff. And they're not that far out, so like I can actually do them and be like, oh, this is sharp, baby. This is sharp.
Hey, that's half the bet is researching, the other half is justifying it to yourself. Why am I going to do this right here? And I think we've got a pretty good reason.
Oh God, I'm on I'm throwing it together on a list like a crazy offshore here. 10 rebounds for Martin, 10 assists for Draymond is plus 1150. For me, which I'm sure is way better odds on a different book. But I'm like, obviously, I'm not in an illegal state until I drive a bit. But I think that's a good. They almost are scaring me because these are almost like for what we usually do on long shots. This is like, oh, this is easy, bro. It's like that's what's tough is because we're used to throwing these 40-40 games together, these crazy long shots. So this might be the one that we're just like, oh man, this is like almost too easy. It's gonna smash.
Hey man, I won't complain about that. Maybe some first half cashes.
This is what I'm saying right here: 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 33-1 on there.
See, I like the security though for Draymond. I like the security of being able to get it in multiple different ways. So I personally would rather just bet the double than do that because who knows? He can get it points assists, he can get it points rebounds. So a lot of different ways it can go.
Yeah, I can't fault you on that at all. But you know these guys want them bigger odds every time. If they get a chance to get an extra 1,000 plus 1,000 on there, it's gonna find a way to make it on there. But Ryan pulling up the best odds for him is 21-1. Pretty good odds for that long shot there. So yeah, definitely think we have a good one. Let me type it up together so we can make sure that we have it when we can look smart after the show. I can post a screenshot of it with what should we use? 21-1?
Yeah.
There it is. That's gonna be posted tonight after it wins there. Yeah, dude, Ryan, if it wasn't Shea, the guy who's made me so much money this year, I would be irate. But the man has made me so much money. I can't be too mad at him. The amount of games I just bet him to score 30 at like minus 135 and he just casually drops a 30 piece is nuts there. So yeah, it's interesting. I guess we could talk about it. Obviously, the Tom Brady retirement. What's your thoughts, Stu, before we head out today? What's your thoughts on possibly the GOAT being off now, being done?
I mean, good for him, man. If that's he can do whatever he wants. I think the funnier part is seeing all these people like give their like unofficial marriage counseling takes on this stuff, and like they're like trying to. There's so many like backseat or whatever you want to call it, like psychologists on Twitter that are trying to diagnose. Why not play, man? You already got divorced. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. It's very odd. So if he wants to retire. I mean, to be honest, would we rather see Tom Brady slowly get worse and worse and worse before he exits? I mean, he's not ending on a high note, but he's not ending on a low note. Like, no one's going to look at the season and criticize him, call him garbage. He just had an okay season. So
he made the playoffs with an absolute dumpster fire team.
Yeah.
So it's actually probably, I mean, his stock ain't bad either there. I guess it's not the worst you could have performance. It's not like unretiring 3 times like Favre does. Hopefully he's done there. But yeah, I think it's done. He actually kind of seems sincere. I think everybody kind of guessed he was coming back after that last one.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback market in the NFL is interesting. There's a lot of teams that are looking for solutions. A lot of teams would definitely be happy with Tom Brady just with all the attention he brings, even besides his on the field. That's why Vegas was so popular, right? Everyone was kind of saying that, Vegas and Brady's last 2 seasons would be kind of an epic way out. But it looks like Tom's just ready to just chill at home. Good for him.
Yeah, I was going to wait till the Super Bowl to talk about this, but shout out to one of the greatest single bets you could make this past season. I'm not even kidding. I played that bet 8 times on show 8 times. Yeah. And I think I only lost it once. And just the fact that half these games, they just ran the ball 3 times. I don't know. I think he had to retire with Leftwich not being there. That means he'd probably have to hand the ball off. I don't think Tom wants to hand the ball off, dude. If he's playing, he's trying to go and throw the ball 45, 50 times a game. But hell, last game of the career, you throw the ball 64 times and break your record for most passes in a game at 45 out there. So shout out Tom Brady, obviously best of all time. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into all that. We could be here for another hour on these, and Stu will probably go back and forth forever. But Stu, what do you got for the people? They're going to be a little shorter today, but I know you're going to have more content coming out. Obviously, I posted my play of the day video already, but what do you got for the people here?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so obviously 2 bets out already. These are my first 2 of the day. I'll have some more bets as we get a little bit closer to game time, and then I'll be on Proper Chop a little bit later, which is by Dimers as well. So I'll be going against a mystery person, I guess, in a one-on-one, and I'll come up with a new play for that as well.
Awesome. Shout out Jay, speaking what we're all thinking. From the chat there, obviously coming through for us this past year. It's tough because TB12 made me more money than Gino this year, but Gino made me a lot of money too. So it's we're happy, both of them. We'll just put an equal sign. I'll take the equal sign, just as much there. But yeah, obviously we have YouTube play of the day out a little bit earlier, rolling with our boys of the Paladins in Furman. I know you love backing these low end conference plays. We got 20 of you guys in here. I'll drop my favorite bet of the night here for college basketball because I wasn't going to post it anywhere or anything. But for the 20 of you guys still remaining in here, my favorite bet is going to be Utah State's first half over 74. It is a late night hammer in college basketball. That is a thing, Stu. This is a 10:30 tip. Late night hammer. The latest. Don't bet. Yeah, you got to go with this one here. I love that game. 2 of the top 20 teams in terms of first half scoring. Utah State's actually the number one 3-point shooting team this year. New Mexico guards the 3-point line well, but you also go to the other side, Jamal Mashburn. You probably know Jamal Mashburn. His dad played in the NBA. His kid is a stud. He's just absolute beast. They're rolling like a 6'8" tight end playing center for New Mexico. The dude, you got to look up some of his highlights. The dude is an absolute, I think it's a doozy, something like that. I don't know how to specifically say it because it's a tough one to pronounce, but the dude is literally playing linebacker out there and running through people's chests and just getting free layups because you can't get in front of them. It's pretty impressive. So if you guys want a late night hammer, that will be my late night hammer game over at 10:30. 10:30. I haven't posted that anywhere. Probably not going to post it anywhere. Just for the 16 of you guys in here live. Hopefully we'll be able to cash that one together. This will be the only place I drop that.
Oh, I like to hear that. I'm down. You already know. This doesn't take much convincing for me. I mean, the only thing is it might be an early morning hammer. I might have to just check my account when I wake up because I don't know if we're staying up for Utah State or not. We'll see.
Yeah, dude, it's there is no better play. You know, there's no better feeling than waking up and checking. It's like, oh, damn, I got an extra 100. I got an extra 100 in the account. We had a bunch of soccer this morning, and obviously it went pretty well. But just like that, like that middle of the day, you don't have to check it all the time. You're just like, yeah, goal, stuff like that. There's nothing better than just waking up and seeing some money in the account. So obviously, it's hopefully we will get the extra. Some of you guys can stay in here and get those extra bets. So perks of staying in here, just checking out Past the Prop. We appreciate you guys. That is all from us today. Under 40 minutes, we cruise through that, but make sure you guys drop those tails, right? Tailing on there if you want to get crazy. We got 21-1 parlay for you guys, and we got a pretty good feeling about it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Friday. Make sure you tune in over on Twitter. Make sure you know what time we're going to be going live on Friday. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck on all your bets tonight, whether it be college, NBA, hockey, whatever you do. Best of luck on all your bets.